Well, hello there. Welcome back. This is still the AM show, and we're still recovering from that Turkish delights thingy that Israel brought us. I'm sorry, that's why I went off air. I needed to recover, but anyways, and we're getting into a conversation that we started yesterday. Like I was saying, yesterday we talked about reflecting on 2021. We learned so much. Yesterday was so great, and we're going to continue with that. And we are going to have a conversation about moving forward, planning for 2022, and I have a book and a pen. Yes, I'm really excited. Doreen brought them. Doreen Bafo, CEO of Branch Out Africa, she brought them. So we're going to go through a few exercises. So if you're sitting at home or in your office and you haven't started work properly, why don't you grab a pen and a paper or a book so that we can do this together. Hopefully we can have a really productive year. Next year, by this time when we're sitting down going through stuff, there'll be, there'll be a lot. So, okay, let's jump right into it. Continue from where we left off yesterday.
Absolutely. Good morning to you, Enimwa.
Good morning.
To our viewers this morning. And it's good to be back.
Yes.
So yesterday we had a reflective exercise, a number of questions to help us close 2021 beautifully. Today we're going to pick from that and build on that conversation to plan out our year for 2022. And if you have your notepads ready and a pen or any note-taking device, that will really, really help. Just gift yourself this time for yourself, and let's do this together. Anyone has hers, so you can grab yours as well. And we'll pick up from yesterday. We'll start with 3 words that you want to define your choices for 2022. 3 words that you can reflect on a daily basis that will guide your choices and actions throughout 2022. And yesterday I shared mine. I chose breathe to remind me to take a break and to remind me also to walk away from particular things. I also chose impact based on the new projects that I'm embarking on. I wasn't sure of the 3rd one, but I remember I said package, act, or brand. I'm still reflecting on that to be sure what my 3rd word is. So write out your 3 words that you want to guide your choices and actions on a day-to-day basis in 2022. Anyone, do you care to share one of yours? We're doing this together.
Yeah, but as of yesterday, I hadn't. And there's so many things that have been jumping out at me, but I think I've picked one.
Okay.
So I don't have the other 2 yet.
Yes.
But my one word so far for 2022 is kindness.
Kindness. That's a powerful one.
Yeah.
I love kindness.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll work with kindness as we go through the exercise.
Okay.
And I just invite our viewers to write out their 3 words. As we go through this exercise, you'll find out how we're going to use it throughout the year. So once you've done that, I want you to just reflect on your life and think through 2022 and ask yourself what areas of life it's really important to you throughout 2022. If you think through your life, just list those ones. And as a guide to our viewers, I'm going to share a few that I've seen people use. I see words like reflection, I see relationship, I have people thinking of learning, there's contribution to society or their community, there's often family, sexuality, love life, health and fitness, spirituality, friends, emotions, finances, career and work, academics, college life or school life, physical environment, personal development, creative life, adventure, fun and recreation, social, community. Just create your list. So what areas are most important to you? So when you list them, and
how many are there, or just indefinite?
No, just pick what works for you. I've had people work with 4 areas.
Okay, because if it's a lot, then it's a bit difficult to focus.
Absolutely,
isn't it? Okay.
Absolutely. So typically I say make this as personal as possible.
Okay.
So for you, if you consider your life, the life you want in 2022, what areas are important for you? For me this year, on my circle, on my list, I have about 8 areas.
Okay.
So I have business, I have fun and recreation, I have relationship, I have romance, for instance.
Okay.
I have personal development. I have something for giving back to my community as well. And for my community, I'm speaking about the community of professional professional associations that I belong to. So list the areas important to you, and I invite our viewers to do that. Okay, so once you list those areas, count them. How many areas do you have anymore?
I have 3.
3, okay. So I'm going to invite you to draw out a circle.
Okay.
And once you draw the circle, I want you to divide the circle into 3 equal parts, just because you have 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And so for our viewers, if you have more than 3, or if you have 4, divide the circle into equal parts based on the number of areas that you've listed as important to your life. And then, once you've done that, starting from the middle of the circle, I want you to create some kind of gauge on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
So where 1 is the lowest, so it's right in the center, and then 10 is the outer circumference of the circle.
Okay.
Okay. And I take those 3 areas that you've listed and write in each segment that you've of the circle how you've divided it. Right, for each area you've listed as important, label the segments as such.
Okay.
So the outer circumference as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So label. And we're doing this to help us as individuals plan out our 2022. And my line of work is called the Wheel of Life. It just gives you a semblance of harmony. And we use harmony because it's almost like the orchestra. You find some tunes really low, some mid-tempo, some really loud.
Yeah.
But it comes together to create that beautiful tune that we hear and love. And that's what it is in our lives. There are some areas that will rate lower than others.
Okay.
But putting all together will create that beautiful harmony we want to experience in 2022. All right, so now that you've drawn the circle and you've labeled 1 to 10, I want you to take each segment for you. Do you mind sharing one? Anyone that you don't mind sharing on
So
TV?
business.
Business, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10 for business, and you define business as based on what business means to you.
Yeah, okay.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate where you currently are at?
Okay.
Your level of satisfaction in that area of your life.
Okay, so this is a new venture, so I'm at a 0.
You're at a 1. So here's how we
so
say.
it's at a 1.
We often say a 1. We say once you're alive,
It's a 1.
and you've even thought about it.
Okay.
That's a 1. So we're starting from a 1.
Start from 1.
to-
Okay.
all right. So I presume you're rating that a 1.
At a 1,
So go
yes.
through and rate the other areas
Okay.
as well. And I invite our viewers to do the same. So you realize I've rated mine as well for the various areas. I chose 12 different areas this year.
Okay.
Okay. And so you rate each of them by just indicating an X in the segment. So like an asterisk in the segment where, so if it's a 3, mark it with an asterisk where the 3 is.
Okay.
If it's a 9, mark it with an asterisk where
Where
that
the
9
9
is.
Okay.
And you do that. And once you've done that, I want you to use a straight line to join all 3 indicators, all 3 places where you've marked.
Okay.
All right. And then, so once you've done that, you realize you have something that looks like a circle.
Yeah.
That creates a semblance, that gives what's the semblance of balance in your life right now. So if you see mine, you have an area that's really dipped in and some areas really dipping out.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Some areas are low tones, some are mid-tempo, and some are really out there. But the question to ask ourselves now is, okay, in 2022, which of these areas do I have an urgent need to improve?
Okay. So now you kind of prioritize.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So if you look at my areas, and once you think of those areas you have an urgent need to improve, you can mark another X. If you have a different pen color, that's fine. But if you don't, you can just mark it in any way that you want. But so for me this year, health and fitness, I'm moving from where I currently have it from a 6, and I want health and fitness to move to an 8 by the end of the year. If I take alliances for my personal business, I want it to move from a 4 to a 6. And so look at all the areas where you want to see you have an urgent need. And the key word is urgent need to improve in 2022. And we say that because there are some areas that may be low tempo right now, but there's no urgent need to improve. You know that if you consider your context and you keep it at that level, you still have that semblance of harmony in your life. So once you've considered those areas, and sometimes even if you have 12 areas, you realize that where you want and you feel or you know that you have that urgent need to improve will probably be 3 or 4 areas, and that's okay. So once you've marked out those areas, here's now when we get into a conversation. So you take each segment. So anymore, let's use your business segment for instance. It's currently at a 1.
Yeah.
By the end of 2022, where would you want it to be at?
I think realistically speaking, realistic, maybe a 4.
A 4, fantastic. Yeah. So my question would be, what will 4 look like? Can you get descriptive for us?
Yeah, I mean, 4 would look like registering
the
business, getting it in order in terms of that aspect of things, the legality, putting together the capital that I need to start it, making contacts with the suppliers and all of that. And then perhaps maybe realistically have maybe 1 or 2 shipments or consignments come in and establish a base of customers, but all not crazy, but just so sets first, putting a foundation for it. That's what that would look like.
And that's a beautiful description. So you've moved from conception at a 1 now to execution, to having an operating model for instance.
Is it a problem if I don't put it at a 6 or a 7?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Remember, we're thinking a semblance of harmony, and we said some areas may be low key, and it's okay. It's to say, in 2022, this is what is realistic.
Yeah.
All right. You know that you're working towards maybe a 10 in 5 to 6 years, or an 8 in 10 years, but you are currently at a 1. What's most realistic by the end of the year? Because
sometimes I feel like not having realistic expectations sets us up for disappointment. So for example, if you're at 1, it would be nice to dream and say, oh, I would wish that I would be at an 8 or a 9. But then if you put yourself at an 8 or a 9, considering that it's not the only thing that you're doing, then at the end of the year, if you haven't gotten to the 8 or the 9, then you look back and you're like, oh, I failed. But sometimes failure is because our expectations are not realistic.
Yeah, and you have a point there, but I also realize that for some people, it's often around priorities. So for instance, if they set the business like yours, say at a 9, sometimes even though they have 6 areas on their wheel as really important, that's what they're going to give the focus to. But they describe the 9 as, for you, for instance, you said the 9 would mean, the 4 would mean it's the execution, registration, and all of that. For them, probably 9 will actually mean that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But I'm really with you on being realistic on what works.
And also, I think accepting that some of these things are influenced by things you can't control.
Absolutely.
So, for example, if I want to start a business, raising capital, as much as I can put my best foot forward, the actual getting of everything I need is beyond my control. I can't force people to invest, and so what do I do, if that process is slowed down, for example, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to have done this and done this, then I'm setting myself up for failure. Yeah,
and that's why you don't do this at the beginning of the year and just leave it there. You come back to it every now and then based on what time frame you choose to say, I want to look at this again, to say, all right, I thought a 4 would look like this, but this is what I think realistically. So it's keeping, it's a living tool. It's not, I do this and then, see you in December 2022. This is what I'm going to be working at. And 4 for me, moving from 1 to 4, it's moving from Jan to December. But we don't stop there. You'll be looking at this for what can I do realistically in January or between Jan and March to make this work.
Okay.
So
I love how you say Jan.
Thank
you. Do you say Feb as well?
No, I actually say February.
February. It's just January that you say Jan. Okay,
yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Anima. So for all the segments, I want our viewers to take each segment and get descriptive. If I'm moving from a 4 to a 6, what would that look like?
Okay.
I'm moving from a 6 to a 7, what would that look like? So if I take family life, for instance, and I say I want to move from a 6 to a 9, for me, a 9 would be some defined conversations, regular conversations with my extended family, but also a very improved relationship with my children. So for all the segments, take it and define what you want your desired outcome to look like by end of, and just indicate it there. So now that gives us what we are working with, where we are journeying towards. And after you've done that, after you're really descriptive, and it really helps to do this with somebody close to you.
Okay.
Then you ask, but for those who like to reflect by themselves as well, this is also a tool that you can use
By yourself.
and that's why I love this one. So after you've done your descriptive conversation on what the outcomes you seek look like, the next thing to ask yourself is, what actions do I need to take this quarter to move me one step towards where I want to go to? And often for some people, they want to take segment by segment or particular segments at a time.
Okay.
Some also say, okay, in this, I'll take all 6 segments that I'm seeking to improve, but this is where my focus is. But to get really clear on what actions do I need to take. So if we take your business segment, for instance, moving from a 1 to a 4 by end of year. By the end of Q1, where would you seek to have moved to? So let's say you say 2. What would 2 look like? That is registering my business. What actions do I need to take in Q1 to make them happen? And so you do that for all of the segments. And now that gives you your planning tool to say, okay, these are the things that I must see happen, or I desire to see happen in Q1. And that becomes the guiding actions for you to move you towards your 3 words that you chose for yourself for this year. So at the end of, when you take any period of reflection, maybe every other week, some say monthly. I love the every other week reflective exercise. I come back and say, what are my 3 words again? Okay, for me, it's breathe, it's impact, and then it's maybe brand. I'm not sure the third one yet. What have I done in the last 2 weeks with these actions that I listed that move me close to my 3 words?
Okay.
And so I'm constantly having that conversation with myself or somebody, a professional I'm working with throughout the year, to move me or to have me take action towards
It's a lot of intentional work.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I heard you say moments ago how life is about choices.
Yeah.
I don't know where I read this, but I read that making no choice is actually a choice.
A choice, oh yeah. Like making no decision is a decision.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So it's being deliberate about the areas of life that for you are really important for you this year. And say for this area, and sometimes it's okay for it to be one area. I've had somebody say it's my insanity this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and for them, every action that they take this year, it's going to be how they improve, how they stay sane, and how they just keep grounded. And that's okay. Make this as personal as possible so that you have a planning tool that works for you as an individual, and that propels you towards that desired outcome that you seek for yourself by end of 2022.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what the wheel is. But I like to bring it to. I like to wrap this up beautifully with final thoughts from the book on empowerment by David Gershon and Gil Straub. I hope I haven't massacred the name. Yeah. But they say that after you've decided what outcomes you want for your life, there are 7 sources of personal power that you need to begin to tap into to keep you on track or to keep you focused on that journey. And they list commitment, discipline, having a support system, tuning into your inner guidance, not taking life too seriously. To say, yes, I said a 9, but realistically, due to situations outside my control, it's actually a 6, and it's okay. You know, life happened. To love, starting with love of self. To say, okay, if I don't take a break at this time, or if I don't do this, if I don't draw back, I probably will achieve this, but I probably will not be myself afterwards. So to start with love of self and love of others. And then finding your own truth is the one that I love so much. Is to say, this is my current context.
Yeah.
This is what works for me at this time.
Yeah.
This is what I can realistically do.
Yeah.
So this is what I want to commit to. And often when you're able to do this by yourself and reflect using those 3 words and your wheel of life for the year, you see that progress. But some people work with, sometimes it's the leaders at work, because businesses, although businesses will not probably put it as a wheel. We set our strategic outcomes and then goals for
Of course.
Absolutely, and our leaders drive that. So if you're one person, or if you're somebody who likes to work with somebody to make it happen, then I would say then that the Association of Coaching Practitioners in Ghana can have, you can find enough professional coaches work with. If it's okay to mention the...
Of course, sure, go ahead.
It's at, you can find the Association of Coaching Practitioners at acpghana.org. So you can just find that online and find a professional coach
to help you
through this.
Yeah.
So you can go to the coach and say, actually, I did this with Enimo and Doreen online, but I want to continue that conversation, and I need for you to support me throughout the process.
That. Okay.
So anyway, this is a simple tool that I use. I've used it quite a bit over some years now, and it works for me.
It works. Okay.
I love the fact that it's so visual. So I can put it in front of either my mirror or my fridge.
Okay.
And
then kind of just go back to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it also influences the people in your lives.
Yeah, because they can see what you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So if you have like healthy eating on there and you're binging on a tub of ice cream, you're like, yo, this was not the plan. but I'm not going to let you go yet. We're going to take a few phone calls.
Absolutely.
We'd love if you have any questions, if you'd like to reach out to us for some clarification or just, some ideas and stuff. Call us at 0302 221 1691 0302 221 169. I know I'm butchering the phone numbers. I'm mentioning way too many. 0302 211 691 0302 211 692. Give us a call and let us know what you think or what your plan is, which part of this, if you have any questions as well. We'd love to hear from you. Your last point on the final thoughts is finding your own truth.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say that I've discovered that finding your own truth can be painful because it means that you have to accept things about yourself that you may not like. Like last year, for example, I discovered about myself that I'm not patient at all. I expect patience from other people, but I'm not willing to give them that patience. So it was good for me to realize that, and I started working on it. Am I more patient? No. But I'm better at hiding my impatience. So I think I'm making progress.
I think that you actually even identified it's actually such a great step.
Yeah.
Because then you know, and because you know, you're
more
conscious.
aware.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you're not gifting that to people to say, hold on anymore, in that conversation.
And absolutely. But Michael is calling from Takoradi. Hi, Michael. Good morning.
Yeah, hello. Please, she made mention of a website that you can have professional coaching.
Okay, it's www.acpghana.org. So www.acpghana.org, and you can get
www.acp
Ghana in full.
.org.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, okay, thank you, Michael. Yao is calling us from Adensa. Hello, Yao. Good morning. Hello, Yao. Okay. Okay. So phone lines are open: 0302 211 691 0302 211 692. So we were talking about finding your own truth, and also the importance of saying no.
Yes.
Because that is your truth. Like, no, I can't do this. No, I don't want to. There's something that I do that drives my producers crazy, both Echo and Sammy Odami on the SMS. They ask me to do something and I say, no, I don't want to. And they'll be like, what do you mean you don't like? I don't want to. And I'm learning that it's a full sentence. Like, I don't want to. I'm not when your children are telling you I don't want to do homework. That's not. When you earn your own money, I'm sure my children are watching. Look, when you earn your own money and live in your own houses, then you can say you don't want to. Do you understand me? Very good. Let's talk to Joshua from Kaswa.
Threat issues.
Threat issues. Joshua from Kaswa. Hi, Joshua. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm well. So what's on your mind?
All right. I have problem with personal, professional consistency. I don't know how to deal with it. I want you to help me out.
You have issues with consistency.
Yes, as in professional.
Professional consistency. Okay, so we'll let Doreen tell you briefly how to work on consistency. But let me speak to Moses as well, so that if we take all the questions, then we can kind of answer them together. So Moses calling from Swedro. Hi, Moses. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, please, the website, if you can repeat the website for me. And my problem is that I have all these in mind. But my problem currently is that I'm unemployed and don't want to. That is my major problem. Because looking at my life, I'm building my life based on what I wanted to do, if in case I get a job. Because, for instance, I'm an agriculture officer and I plan of establishing a poultry farm. But currently, because I'm unemployed, it's a big challenge to me. So I don't know if it can be of help or if there's any word of advice in that area for me. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. So do you want to take Moses' question first and then...
On consistency?
No, just the past person we spoke to, and then we go to...
When he's on finding a job.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's a conversation that I hear with a lot of people on I need to find something, and so can you help me find something? There's a part of that where people can support you by introducing you to their contacts and connections to say, okay, can you support this person? And these are the qualifications and experiences that this person comes with. But there's also the part of the work that he has to do.
Okay.
And so I would say, he asked for the website, so he can also go to it's acpghana.org, and Ghana is in full. There are some coaches who at the beginning of the year and in May and September, as an association, we give pro bono sessions. So if he wants a coach to work with at a particular time during the year to say, I want some guidance or some support system on staying committed to finding something, because then what is that something that he actually wants to find look like? You know, if that's not coming, what are his other options? You know, so that there's some support for him along the way.
Yeah.
So I can't point Moses to a place to go right now, but support that helps him find his own way and his own truth is what he can work with a coach for during the period. Yeah.
Okay. So. That's about it. Okay, we have one last caller, Nilo from Medina, and then we'll have to go. Hello, Nilo.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. What's on your mind?
Please, I want Madam Doreen to help me.
Okay.
I have a problem with this. I am very creative and very efficient, but I have a problem that brings me back anytime I work, which is friends. I have a lot of friends and I want to see how I can do away with them. Already I have them as friends, but is it a good idea to rather avoid them or another way of handling them?
So, Nilo,
very interesting.
Very interesting. And anyway, yesterday we spoke about alliances that you want to, that are not serving you, and the alliances that you want to build to achieve what you want to achieve in 2022. So I think what I hear Nilo say is that if he's reflected, he probably has found some alliances or some partnerships that are not serving him right now, and he wants support to take action. He says, I have a lot of friends and I want to know if I should keep them. Nilo, my question, which is my gift to you, would be to go through this friend list to say which of these friends on my list are currently serving me on what I want to achieve in 2022, and which of them do I probably need to hold back or limit the contacts, and why do I want to do that? Are they like energy depleters? So it calls for some work from you as well, Nilo, to say which of these alliances do I want to hold on to? Do I even want to build further in 2022, or which are those that I want to draw back on? So, Nilo, you're going to have to do this work for yourself, but if you want to work with someone, again, check out the acpghana.org. Like I said, some coaches do pro bono sessions at the beginning of every year, but as an association in March, in May and September, we give out pro bono sessions as well, and you can find a professional coach to work with you along the journey as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for joining us.
Anymore, thank you as well. I put my a QR code for a few viewers who want to stay in touch with me as well.
Okay.
So for instance, if you want to receive periodic publications from us on self-leadership, please scan the QR code. But I'm available on branchoutafrica.com as well.
Okay.
So that for those who want to stay in touch, that's how to keep in touch with me. So anyway, when we come back, inshallah, God willing,
yes,
in December,
there'll be a lot
we'll be looking
to
at your
talk
3
about.
words.
Yes, and how far we've come. I can't wait.
Thank you, Anymore.
I'm really excited. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
you.
So grateful.
I'm grateful as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anymore.
A very big thank you to Doreen Bafo. She's the CEO for Branch Out Africa. And you can find her, just Google or go to the website, Branch Out Africa. Also acpghana.org if you'd like to get some help with some personal coaching. All right, we're taking a quick break and we'll be right back.